Good morning. Look at how I came in. Good morning, good afternoon. How you all doing? It's another Saturday. Who is excited today? It's me. You're welcome to connect and reflect. Yes, you're welcome to this podcast this week. As usual, as I've seen in the comment, in the caption, we'll be talking about a Nigerian lady who got married, happily married, and posted her wedding picture on social media. Boom, netizen went on her old tweets and brought out all her old conversation with her partner. And they brought it back and showed it to the partner. Did she tell you about this? And now this has become a controversial conversation. Should we keep our controversial past in the past, or we let our partner knows? And if peradventure the partner found out the controversial past, can love survive controversial past? Ask me what was in that old tweet. In that old tweet, the lady was talking about how she enjoyed the multiple men in her life. She was being erotic and told us about how she had a lot of partners, in bed. So those were the tweets the netizens were bringing back to surface so that the husband would know. And the question is like, did you let your husband know about this? So those tweets depict that maybe, allegedly, she was a sex worker. She was into, TB. So we don't know how true that was. And did she tell her partner about it? Was she expected to tell her partner about it? What are your reactions on this? As usual, we always bring you relatable topics that will catch your interest, and you will be glued, you'll be, to the screen, and you love to be here. As your host, as usual, my name is Adiola. You're welcome to connect and reflect. So let's bring our other fans and the other people online and other co-hosts online, and we'll dive into the topic. No time to waste. No time to check time. Should we tell our partners about our controversial past? If you're a woman who's been into drugs or anything in the past, are you expected to tell your partner? If you had posted your noodles online, are you expected to tell your partner about it? And if you had made any controversial comments in the past, are you expected to tell your partner about it? So that is what we'll be discussing today. This lady, I don't know if she told her partner, and now the netizens are bringing it back to life, bringing it back to her and to the partner who was just standing gently beside the love of his life. When a man is married, that joy that comes with it. And this lady is happy to share this love with all of you. And look at how you messed her up. Look at how you guys messed her up. Or did she mess herself up? So this is what we'll be looking at today. Join us in this conversation. We'll be looking into different angles. We'll be looking at it from different angles. So stay glued, enjoy, stay connected. So is it better to tell your partner everything about your past, or some things are better left unsaid, and they should go to grave with you to protect the peace of your marriage? Or disclose everything and be ready for the consequence of it? What is your stand? What could likely be the consequence of this relationship? Hi, Tayo, you're welcome.
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon from you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm so very fine, thank you. And you?
And how's the week going? Oh, the last
brilliant.
week
It was brilliant.
Oh, thank
yes,
God. So I have so much joy today. I don't know what happened. Maybe my energy just went pew high. So looking at today's topic, maybe even the topic excites me because so many people have been reckless with comments online, reckless with what they post just for the likes, trying to get a clickbait. A lot of people have posted what shouldn't be, and some use it to sell a movie. They use it for PR. So many things that they won't be proud of. Probably in the next 10 years, they check it. And don't forget my glasses. So beautiful. I came with glasses today. So now, is it better to tell your partner everything about your past, or there are some things that should go to grave with you that you shouldn't let your partner know? What is your opinion?
All right. So concerning the lady, let's start it from the posted things
Yes.
that are now haunting her. I think from the moment I heard about Facebook and how it connects, all right, I was constantly careful what I posted. Okay.
Mm.
And even when I joined Twitter, and the way Twitter was, when I actually joined Twitter, it was way back, and it was not this crazy, but it was also crazy then.
Yes.
Despite that, I was still careful what I put because I don't know who I will meet in the future and will. Okay. Even though I don't know whether your messages or your posts you can see it in the direct future, the other people can still see it in the direct future. But I think that at that time, my consciousness was, what if someone that holds me in high esteem sees something I posted? And you understand? So this thing kind of shaped what I put on social media. All right, it's kind of shape everything. So, and for someone that lives fearlessly, a lot of the times they don't know that they are going to be a better them in the future. They just feel that let's just vibe with time, and they just throw all caution to the wind, and they just post for the likes, for the comments. And people sometimes get their essence from how many people commented or liked their post
Yes.
or their comment. And what they don't understand is that their life is more important than the number of comments and likes that they will get. All right. So as such, they just post carelessly, and sometimes they forget. They did not forget. Maybe they would have gone back to go and do it.
Yeah, they would have
But
forgotten
most
what I
of the times
posted.
they forget. And by the time life is now staring them at the face, it will not look as if it is their village people, which is not. All right. I remember that there was a time I was supposed to do video coverage for my secondary school group. I was using my phone. So I was told to test it so that when we start the program, we will not be in problem of how to connect. So I tested it. I never knew that I did not I did not close it.
Oh.
So I was talking to a friend, personal matters. Tayo, what is your problem? Why are you discussing your family matters on Facebook? I was like, my family matter on Facebook. How? And this is me that you barely see me on the screen,
Definitely.
So I knew how I felt. Even though it was not that bad what I discussed, but it was as if the ground should open and I should
I
enter
know.
and the ground swallow me. Now imagine someone who has said some terrible things online years back. And now you now found someone who wants to spend the rest of their life with you. And as a matter of fact, this man, they might have been calling him Mumu before. And he might have like, leave me, let me be Mumu for love. And now seeing this, it's almost as if people knew what he doesn't know. Then you begin to suspect there is more to you. There is nothing you will say at that time that the person will likely believe, except for someone that already knows you from the past and has probably seen the comments before. But for someone who just walked into your life, seeing all of those things, the possibility of the person trusting you is very small. That is if he does not even. I'm sure 90% of the time it will end in a relationship. 99% it will end in a relationship.
Ah.
Because before you see someone who will take it like that, it's difficult. It's very difficult.
So now, back to the question: is it good to share your past or just let it slide?
Sometimes your past is not on the social media, but your past might be in the hands of your friends.
Yes.
And
You know,
these
it's better
people
it's in the
were,
hand of a friend than being in the social media. Like, it's the hand of everybody.
no, there are some friends that you have, that they got your back.
Mm-hmm.
At a particular point in time, they were your ride or die. All right. So this kind of friend, you might likely share a lot of things with that person. And now you are no longer ride or die. And sometimes they could be your enemy. And maybe they are not your enemy, but they are not just friends anymore with you for some certain reason. So sometimes it is important to share your past. I remember when I married my husband, after I married my husband in the same house he's been living before we got married, okay? When he was a young person before we got married. Then there was a day somebody was having a conversation with me that this your husband that is being holier than thou. That in those days he used to bring one lady and sleep with the lady. He used to hear the lady's voice, blah 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 blah. It is what he has already discussed with me before. I wasn't shocked. He told me that he had some certain people in his life before me. I knew about it. This person is trying to tell me, like, my husband is not a saint. He might not be a saint then, but right now that you are telling me he's a saint. And there is nothing you are going to tell me about it that is going to change how I feel about him.
Because you are in the know.
Because I am in the know. Imagine if that kind of person knows something worse than that about my husband, and the person is trying to get at me. That's how the person will equally tell me. People can be very funny. They will tell you that they are not trying to scatter your home, but that is what they are silently trying to do. All right? So that is how the person will tell me too, that your husband did so and so thing in his past. If there's a past that you know, that someone knows and might likely come out, it is important you say it. But if it is something that it is just between you and God, and you regret it sincerely, maybe, and you know that it can break the other person, because there are some parts that can break your partner, and you are the only one that knows. Somebody else don't know. It is better you keep it. But if it is something that someone will know, it's better that relationship breaks at that time. Because if you keep it and it stays longer, and the person later gets to know, it will be worse than when you never got married.
Awesome.
Because so it depends. Like there was a time when this question actually came up before I got married and we were going to single seminar, and young people will always ask questions and all of those things. So somebody asked this question that, can your past remain in the past? And the person that did said that it depends. If you have a child in your past, tell the person they are going to get married, because some people make mistake of you have a child in their past and they are not talking about it. You have an abortion in your past and you are not talking about it. And now you are in the marriage, you are not conceiving, and later your husband now got to know that you've had an abortion. Immediately he will assume that it is the abortion that is not making you to have another child, even if it is not the abortion.
I was about to say that a lot of people aborted and they have kids, and a lot of people were virgins and they don't.
You understand? So it's important that you analyze this your past. Which one is known to only me and God, and that if this person hears, it might break this person, then that one can follow you to the grave. But anything that somebody else knows, people can be very funny and tricky. They can wake up one morning and decide to spill your secret. Whatever you consider.
Hold on. My follow-up question: if they spill it, are you gonna call it a betrayal, or you just gonna hold it like, okay, it's just one of those histories? Like, everybody has history, everybody has past. Even after married, that you found out,
probably somebody consider it betrayal. Olotu, is it the spouse that will consider it a
So
betrayal?
yes, they knew the guy. Let's assume for this case now, and the lady guy just found out from all of us on the internet now. No, I wasn't there. All of them on the internet. Well, the guy called it a betrayal. I just or count it as one of those histories.
The guy might not count it as betrayal because it was not done against him. All right, but he will be disappointed. And the person might not take it like one of those histories. This is a history and it matters. Will you be doing the same thing to me? Because I heard that the girl said some despicable things. Will you be doing this same thing to me? I remember telling a lady, she commented a particular comment, on social media, and I contacted the person personally, like, I saw a comment you made. It's not right. She said that no, she just wants to get the comment and the likes. I like this thing can ruin you in the nearest future. She was like, they call me HM. Say, HM
They'll call
now.
it. It's not. They'll say it's not that deep.
It's just cruise. I say it will cruise you to accident. That was what I told her. That it will cruise you to accident. And if it is a ship, it will sink you. You will know. You will not know who will probably see this. All right. So I think that was what made. And I sat the person down and I explained some certain things, that these things don't go easily. You might change name, but there are some things that will not change. All right. So why not just rephrase your comment or you delete it outrightly? All right. So, and the person did that. The thing is that lots of them consider it cruise, just like in our own time. Some people just want to be carefree. Let's just live this life. Let's just live this life, and damning the consequence. We don't know what tomorrow holds. Now, the tomorrow you don't know what holds is now staring at you in the face, holding to you that thing you've done in the past, and you are now saying that this life is not fair. Before it was, you don't know what tomorrow holds. Now, tomorrow, like, this life is not fair. So the thing is that we need to be conscious, and sometimes it boils down to the influence around people too. Because if as a young person you live around people who are carefree, they might not be as carefree as you are going to be, but you might see their life, they might see the way they live as, like they live carelessly. There are some things you will do thinking that his life should be. And by the time things start moving, all right, and you begin to change your orientation and digest, because at some point, there are some things you think are important, and in like 1, 2, 3 years, they're no longer important. And you begin to change your orientation and views about life, then you realize that. And this particular one, you've forgotten it. And when it comes onto you, it's now giving you a dent. It's not giving a dent on your image. So that is why people really need to surround themselves with the right people.
Thank you for that um insight. Bro, Tunde, you're welcome. How you doing? Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Why you there and low yẹn fún wa? What's happening?
It's my past still.
So what is it in your own past that you're hiding now? You better speak up that. So when you heard about that story, like can lots of have controversial past based on that lady too, who has probably a very controversial past, probably being a sex worker, and now she's happily married, and people are bringing her past to Hunter. What came to your mind?
Well, the only thing that came to my mind was that she messed around and found out. That's just what it is. There are some things that so there are boundaries to things, right? And some boundaries, once you cross that boundary, it's hard to go back to, right? And she was dumb about it, in the sense that it's one thing to have a dirty past, right? It's another thing to freely volunteer that information for everybody to see. Because the problem with her, as I saw it, was not about her dirty past. It was about the fact that that dirty past was out there for everybody to see. And I think it's a lesson for everybody. And I think Auntie Tayo mentioned it as well earlier, that the need to get validation from strangers, to put everything out there for strangers to see, is what is affecting a lot of people right now. There's some information that are meant for your private consumption. There's some, like they say, that there are some things that should go with you to your grave, whether good or bad. But this lady decided to, and of course, and I think I get it. What she was doing, she needed the um the platform to continue to enjoy the service, right? If someone is doing prostitution, social media is probably the best way to spread that gospel for people to see it. The mistake she made was, I mean, after you're done with that life, scrub everything from that life and move on. That's one aspect. The other aspect is, some of the things that I believe people fear is, oh, what if I tell this person my past and he decide to go, right? That's why people hold on to that past and not sharing it. Unfortunately, it's another mistake on its own. And I'm talking from the man's perspective, right? It is better for you to share that past, and the person that you're sharing it to is not able to handle it, and say, you know what, this is too much for me. I'm not able to handle it. I'm moving on. Than for you to keep it, hoping that that person will not find out. It becomes worse when the person find it out and you're not the one saying it. And I'm talking from the man's perspective right now. If you have killed someone in the past, to me, I would appreciate you if you're the one that told me. How I would react to it, I cannot promise. You understand? But if you've killed someone in the past, and I'm using that because that's kind of like probably the greatest thing you could have done in your past, right? If you kill someone in the past and you presented yourself as a saint, right? And then I discover, because there's no way you will hide having killed someone in the past, that you will not keep up with the new persona of being a saint. Now, if I now discover that, she had killed someone in the past, so it's not going to be a case of you had a dirty past anymore. It's not going to be a case of everything that I know about you has been a lie. That's worse than your dirty past. So that's, to me, when I saw that, I felt like she laid the bed, and unfortunately she had to lie on it the way it is. And I don't blame the man for taking the decision that he took. The man said he's not doing anymore. So that's what I think about it.
Okay. Now, most of the time when cases like this happen, because it's for the woman, we are quick to call her names and feel that men cannot handle it. But if it was the man who had a terrible past like that, probably he was a gigolo and going back and forth on things like that, and married this lady innocently, and the lady find out. Will you judge? Is it going to be the same conversation we're going to be having? Like, are we going to tell the lady to move out of such man's life, or forgive? I'll try to change. This person is not a changed person. I will start saying there's room for second chance.
Yeah.
Because
So there's a reason why I use the analogy of she killed someone in the past, because that is not gender specific, right? Because if I'd said, oh, she was a prostitute in the past, of course I'm labeling the women now. But the reason I use she killed is both men and women have their past, dirty or not, right? And if we are moving off of someone that did something in the past, now as a spouse, right? We all know that there's a saying that sinners have a past. Sorry, saints have a past, sinners have a future, which kind of says that your past is different from your future. People change, right? although there's a variation to that, when they say people change, I don't believe that people change at the core of their being. Who you are will still remain who you are. What you change is how you display who you are. You understand what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is, I don't subscribe to the saying that, oh, forgive, that they say to women. It's not only women that does the forgiving, or should I say, it's not only women that should do the forgiving. Both genders do the forgiving. The only thing I will say is, you cannot. It's about being mentally prepared for what you're getting yourself into. So let me use myself as an example. If they're asking me that a spouse that I'm getting involved with had a dirty past, and they're asking me to forgive, I will not forgive because they are telling me to forgive. Because by the time I forgive and I'm living with the consequence of it, nobody will be there with me, right? So if I want to forgive genuinely, in the sense that if I know this about you, and I'm saying, you know what, okay, I've weighed it, I feel like even with this flaws of yours, I'm ready to proceed. What that means is I have thought about every iteration of this flaw rearing itself again, and I'm okay with it in the future. You understand what I'm saying? So what I mean is, if you killed in the past, what I'm saying is I'm trusting you enough, right, to kill again, and I will accept you. That is hard to say, right? But the thing is, you cannot by yourself make someone that had a bad past to have a better future. That responsibility falls on the person themselves, not on you. Nothing you can do. They say something does not change the spots, right? Nothing you do will make that person change. The change would come from that person, right? So if I say I'm forgiving that person, I'm saying that, okay, you know what? Okay, what you did in the past, I agree, I accept, and I appreciate that you told me, and I'm willing to make things work going forward. So part of that is I will now not in the future, when we have a misunderstanding, now reference that person's past, because that means that I was not genuine when I said, okay, I heard your past, and I'm moving forward. Like Einstein said about someone that did abortion, right? If you know your spouse had aborted in the past, what will make you accept the person is not the belief. This is not about saying it is well. It is not the belief that miracle will happen, that past is gone. No, it is the belief that, okay, I know that there are complications that might arise from your abortion, and I'm ready to live with that consequence. That is what that forgiving means. So if you have a slight delay, and you now start saying that, oh, you're the cause of my childlessness because you've aborted in the past, that is not forgiving. So it's better you walk away. That's the point that I'm making. Whether it's for female or for male, it is better you walk away, and nobody is going to fight you about that. It is your choice because you feel like you are not live with it, right? So it's better to walk away rather than giving that person a false hope that their past is gone. Because really, the devil will try and bring that past up as much as possible. So in the other side, let me say it with the women as well. If you're involved with a man and then you hear that this man has a child, right? What will make you proceed with that man is knowing fully well that you have a child, and the time will come where you will have to embrace your child. So me saying that I forgive you is saying that I'm never going to put you in the position where I'll have to ask you to choose between me and your child. If you can agree to that, by the way, by all means, go on. If you cannot, by all means, tell the man there's a YouTube thing on the edge of the plate that cannot overlook. It's not about you, it is about me not being strong enough to take that. And that's okay as well.
Thank you. So, Mr. Tai, we always talk about growth, transformation, and I don't think that this lady have gone through, life. Probably that was when she was naive. She doesn't know the implication of what she did. Now she has grown. She knows that it's good to be, to be with one man instead of going around with multiple partners. And now she has found one. Why do we still have to judge her?
Well, that's not. I think it is important that she told the man, in my past, I have been this. All right. So if the man knew that in her past she had been a prostitute, even when that thing suffices, he will still choose her. All right. Except the family, some people will rather listen to their family, all right, than themselves, except the family pressured him not to. But if it is something that he knows and he has a mind of his own, he will go ahead because he is in the know. He knows it. That, okay, you had a past and this is what you did in your past. And if the man had known that she had a past that was on the social media, you can't tell. He might have even helped her to try and see how they can wipe out some things from the social media. All right. And he will also probably have told her the best way to keep this relationship is not to post me online again. All right. Because there are some mistakes that you do. In trying to correct them, there are some things you don't do. All right. In trying to correct them, one, you are going to be saving yourself a whole lot, and you are going to be saving the partner too a whole lot. The thing is, she had a past. Aside from the fact that it was on the social media, it was what she does on a steady. It is when she turned a new leaf and she transformed. It's okay to grow, it's okay to transform, it's okay to leave bad characters in the past, and it is very okay to share it with who you want to do the rest of your life with, so that the person is not faced with a shock in the future. Because when the person gets to now see this, if the man had married her and later saw this, he will never believe every word that has ever come out of her mouth. All right. There was someone that, I don't know, used to collect money from the husband to pay school fees and all of those things. And the husband realized that she's been adding some money to the school fees, to pay. And the husband said that he wants to be paying directly by himself now, that the school fees bills should be sent directly to him and he would want to be paying by himself. He no longer trusts her, even though she just started it, I don't know how long doing that. The husband no longer trusts her with the school fees. He believed that she's been doing it for long. He also believed that that is not the only way she's extorting from him. This kind of things, makes you look like you've been a liar all along. That even when you were sincere, you're actually not sincere. So this is okay to transform, but it is very okay to tell the person you want to spend the rest of your life with what you've done in the past. If the person has the capacity to hold it, the person will take you for who you are. If the person does not, it is better you hand it there and move on with your life than going through.
Tayo, how many men can marry a woman with such past? How many of them?
There are many.
She changed
There
almost
are men that
created it. And she has moved from one relationship to another, telling them about the past, and they keep dumping her. Now she's like, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to grab you so tight. So what do you expect her to do in this case? Like, let's bring her to reality. Like, she's somebody we know. How would you expect her to do it differently?
Auntie Taya dropped. So Olotu, let me respond to that. You said how many men can do that? See, first and foremost, It is not the fault of the men that decide not to handle it. Let's first establish that.
Okay.
In the line of things, like I said in the first statement that I made, that
Mm-hmm.
there are some boundaries that you don't cross. Once you cross it, you can't come back from it, right?
Yeah.
So, and I said she laid her bed, she will sleep on it. So if I would not, the point is not in laying blame on men that decide to leave after hearing the past that she did herself by her two eyes, carrying her both legs into it. So we cannot ask any man to bear the brunt of that just because we don't want men to say that he cannot handle such past. Why will I handle a past that you had a choice but you walked right into it? So let's establish that fact. It is our problem. As many men that decide not to handle it as she gets, she will continue learning. But there is a place of grace. You understand what I'm saying? There is a place of grace. It doesn't mean that there won't be a man that will say, you know what, I'm accepted you. I've accepted you. Of course, who was this prostitute in the Bible?
Is it going to be out of pity or out of I love you?
Say, what did you say?
I said, is it going to be out of pity, like who sent to marry fair?
Church, honestly, and I'm not saying this because I'm a man, right? A man that would accept such lady will not do it out of pity. I know that for a fact. The reason why the man will not do it out of pity is because the first thing that a man will think of before accepting such lady will not be about the lady. It will be about the ridicule that he will get for accepting such lady. It's a situation, it's a society. That's how the society is framed. If you look at the tweets about this lady on internet, on Twitter rather, most of the tweets were like, the husband is a mumu, is Ozuo. See, that is the first set of battle the man would have to go through. You understand what I'm saying? And a man that will say, you know what, knowing fully well that these people will bash me for this, and I'll still choose you, that is not pity. Man. That is never pity. Because pity is I'm choosing you, even though people will bash you. That is me pitying you. But if I'm choosing you, even though people will bash me, that's a great level of love. Let me give you an example. It might not be my example to share. We all know the way people talk about this lady that does belly dancing on Instagram, Jane Mena. We know about the way people talk about the husband. Do you think the husband decided to stay with her because of he pities her? No. Well, that's another. That may be the husband. You may be right about that. The husband is saying benefit also, but the point that I'm making is he could handle it, and that was why he accepted her as the wife. If a man cannot handle it, he will move on, and we should not handle shame any man that doesn't feel like they can handle it. The lady did something wrong. It is her responsibility to bear it. So no woman, no person born of a woman should now come here and be accusing men for saying that they cannot handle such nonsense that she did in the past. It is a problem. She will keep jumping over men that would not handle it until she find one that loves her genuinely enough and is ready to handle it. So the first step the first door shouldn't have been crossed. She has crossed it. She cannot go back. She cannot undo what she did in the past. And we cannot blame any man that is safeguarding their future by not accepting what she did in the past. It's as simple as that. Now, if a man now comes forward to say, I am accepting you, the best she can do is to not betray that man's trust. Because the lady that we're talking about now, of course, I don't know about their private life, right? The lady that we're talking about, the man, right, might have had opportunities to ask her about her past, and the lady lied. Oh, I'm good. Because I don't think you can get to the point of wanting to marry someone without at least trying to know things about them. That is a stupid thing to do. Because when the Bible says, can two work together except to be agreed? That is part of the agreement. Bringing your past, bringing my past, and we agree on it to go forward. So why are you marrying someone that you cannot vouch for their values? Right? The only way you can vouch for their values is if you've had opportunities to talk about it. So which goes back to what I said, that the lady must have led a deceitful life with that man. And that is why it is more shocking finding it out on social media. The lady's past. He's not even finding it out from whispers. That's what the dog even makes it worse. If she finds it out from whispers, that, are you sure you want to marry this lady? This was what she was doing. No, you understand? It's even small. But to now hear it on social media, and it was not even hearing alone, it was even the lady that posted that she's married, right? With the same handle that she's been posting about riding someone, wanting to have sex, and all of that. It is devastating. Very, very devastating.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. In your coin. Anyways, Ajashegun was gonna prove me wrong. You're welcome, Ajashegun.
So
Hi,
no,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
But today,
afternoon. So I know, Ajashegun, let me ask you this question then. I know you love love. Can't love
Did you say I love love?
I know you love love now. Before love show you
Oh
pepper.
my God.
Before love show you pepper, you used to love love. So can't love
Well,
be strong enough to withstand public judgments? Like even all of you, like run your mouth. Oh, it's the way I love this lady. I love her so much that I will withstand this ridicule, this embarrassment, from my past.
you know, I think Bertinda has actually, you know, rounded off most of my thoughts. It's talked about most of my thoughts, but I'll just add this to it. There's a tag that they call men like that, men that tend to accept um women's shitty past. And I'm not going to judge them, but there's a term they call them now on social media. Would you love to know the term? I don't think anybody would love to be called that, but they call them dodoyo. Dodoyo, dodoyo is what they call them. So I don't even want to even talk about. I don't even want to go to the aspect of you talking about men love love. What does that mean? They call them dodoyo. When you become the man that of course you can be like Christ. You can be as forgiving as Christ. You understand? But on a personal note, I won't do that. I won't accept that. And it's even very easy for you to be able to vet information these days on social media. Did you know that somebody put out an information for men and said that, look, if you want to find out whether your current girlfriend is actually into hookup business, or maybe she's thought about it ever and she's made a move towards it, that there's a particular website that you can go check out. If you find her profile there, just know that she's doing hookup business. That website is called codedruns.com. You understand? So, am I going to say if I'm going to see someone now, or I'm trying to date someone and I find that person's profile there, and she then comes and even if I met the person in the church and she's turned a new leaf, I should turn a blind eye on that. As much as as much as we're trying to say that the whole issue happened in the future, just like Mr. Tunde said, if any man is man enough to be able to handle that kind of information, of course he's free to go ahead with that union. You understand? But we've always seen how those kind of information always come back to haunt them in the future, or even men that have how did that name Dodo come to place? Even men who have taken the risk to say, okay, I want to let go of your future. I want to build
You mean of
I
your
want to let go of
past?
your past rather. I want to let go of your past rather. I want to build a future with you. In many cases, the past always tend to repeat itself in the future. If you listen to most of the stories that happened,
Hold
so
on,
I
hold on,
think
Adeshego. Hold on, Adeshego. Let me now, looking at the .com that you just said now, should we now start investigating our partner, doing a background check on our
yes,
partner before we say I
yes,
do, apart from what they tell us? Is this how
yes,
trust, like we lost trust now?
no,
This is going to be a trust
yes.
issue.
Look, it will be a trust issue. Let it be a trust issue. Let it be a trust issue as far as you can be able to, vet proper information. I think these were things that our forefathers used to do. Why did they always find out information when you say you want to marry somebody? Why did they always take, the effort to try and find out what family is from, what they do in their family, and why they, can be able to say, okay, this is a good family, this is a bad family. I think it's important for everybody to vet their partners very well, so that you don't hear a story that touches, so that you don't go and end up with somebody that does not have a womb, or somebody that has has HIV or something. It's important for people to vet. I think so, because if you hear different kind of stories that are out there, if you read even from different kind of for different blogs, what they put out about people's life issues, you will know how important it is to vet. As much as you want to say that it can affect trust, look, please put trust aside first and try and secure a good future, so that you're not going to we're not going to all gather. I'm beginning to imagine, like, I'm putting myself in that man's shoe. What if that conversation never happened? What if she hid it? What if it was something that he was not aware about? You understand? And now let's even say that he was aware about. Can he be able to take the current backlash that really happened on social media, how they dragged him, how they dragged her? Forget about it. Even though she's the one that is facing the heat, is going to be indirectly facing the heat also. So I can't take that. I don't think I can be able to withstand that.
Today's men.
I give him kudos if if he's withstanding that. But I don't want to. I don't even wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah,
I thought you love. That your love is
I
strong
don't.
enough to.
No,
Anyways,
well, I don't. I don't.
said he
I
doesn't.
love reality. I love reality. Please, I prefer reality.
Oh, tired, Jerry. So now, if you refuse to tell the partner about the past, are we going to say that it's a dishonesty from her side, or it's just that she believed that it has gone, like the past has gone and it should stay in the past? Like, it has gone, it has gone. Why would I talk about it when I've left it? It's like, I don't eat poop. Come on. I don't know how to defend that. I'm trying to defend that, but I'm struggling with it. Like, is it
The
going to
thing
be
is
time?
that sometimes we live in denial. Sometimes, yes, we do live in denial. Some things are staring us in the face, and we just believe that it is not. You know that this was your past, and it can't remain in the past. Something you did not do with one, two persons, something you had with multiple partners, and you even put on social media.
But she has changed now. She found love. She has changed. Can't you
Yes.
also know that she has changed?
How are you sure she has changed?
All right, let's even assume that she has changed. See, it is God that forgives. The world system doesn't forgive consequence. And God will not stand between what you have done and the consequence of your anger. even after God has forgiven you. All right. And sometimes people think that whatever they have done in the past, God has forgiven them, so it is in the past, nothing again. That is God. That is why He is God. He is supreme. He can choose to forgive you and forget you ever did it. That is God for you. But the world system will not forgive, and consequence of your actions will be meted. All right. Take for example, David took Bathsheba, killed her husband, asked God for forgiveness. The son Bathsheba had for him, died. But karma was, they used to call it something like a female dog. You know, it came back to haunt him. His own son slept with his concubine. If you know the gravity of what Absalom did for David, is enough for any man in that time to commit a suicide. What Absalom did, he's not even supposed to have the face to come back to Jerusalem. That is the magnitude of what happened. See, God forgave him. It was as if he never did it, because even the Bible said that David was a man according to God's heart. It shows how much God forgave it. You cannot commit that kind of sin and God will still say that you are a man according to my heart if he had not forgiven you. He forgave him, and when God forgives you, it's as if you never committed it. But the world system, the way this world is programmed, lalato barokeni ile lumbo, like whatever goes round comes around. So that is why some things, it's better not to do them. You will have second chances. Well, if God is merciful enough, you can go away from the people you have done it with and start another life afresh. But sometimes common sense should be common to people. Like Ajashegun said, the same account you used to say that you do this one and did that, you did this, you did that, is the same account you are using to announce that you are now married. If you want to turn a new leaf, your new leaf will start by you leaving the past in the past. First of all, you are turning a new leaf. One of the things you're supposed to let go is those handles that projected you in your past life. All right. That is part of your transformation, because if you are going to transform, you transform from the things that was in your past. Those things might likely hold you in your past. If you are still hanging on to it, there is a tendency that you are still interested in it, and you are already telling yourself, maybe not, you can still do it. So if you are going through proper transformation, that handle is the first that is supposed to have gone. Either you delete it and start a new one, all right, or you abandon it and start a new one. But if you are trying to actually go back away from it, the right thing to do is to delete that handle first of all things.
Do you know
All
what
things
it means to build a page? Do you know how it takes to build a page?
how many you don't see, that is the thing, is this validation thing. You want to start a new life, but you want to hang on to the people that knows about your past life. Make it make sense. You want to start a new life for Christ's sake. The first thing you do is to get out of what kept you in your past. And part of the things that kept you in your past is this particular handle. So when you start a new one, it should not matter to you when you are going to get the number of followers again. That should not be your concern. Get out of that old way before. It's like somebody is trying to kill you in this room, and you now like have an opportunity to escape. You say, hey, let me take this person's phone that can track you, that in case the person will track you and still kill you. Now I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say. If you really want to escape, you will not take anything out of that room. You will run with your life in your hands, in your mouth, and keep running. Because it will be like when a lion is trying to kill an antelope, the antelope will be running for survival, And whatever you say or do at that time does not matter to the antelope. Is its own survival that is running for first. So if you say that you are trying to transform, the first thing you do is to live your past life. All right? Forget about everything in the past, all the good things in the past life. You need to forget it and start a new life. And it will not be easy, but it is something you can go through. Transformation is not easy. Now, when you were going to go to the one you were doing, it wasn't as if it was easy. You actually grew it until it become what it was. So what makes you think you cannot do the same thing? All right. So I think that you have changed. Yes, everything about you should actually reflect your changes. Everything.
My last reaction is going to be like, if you observe now, this is a new trend on our social media rather. The TikTok, if you go there, if you want to gain a lot of followers, just go and open your books, dance and shake hands for you will get a lot of followers and say nasty things. So what's your message for people like that? Will it haunt them, or it's just a cruise? They're just following the trend. Like, it's just a trend. Even I'll tell my children that it's a trend. If somebody wants to employ me in the future, I'll just tell them, oh, what you saw there was just a trend. It was a cruise. That didn't mean everything I said. What are we going to tell the young ones and who could be on the TikTok, who are ready to do anything for money? Just like it is very lucrative now, doing anything for money. But today, let me start from you.
Hello, too. So, I think the lesson here is pretty much clear that if you mess around, you're going to find out. It's as simple as that. And there are consequences for actions. Whether you want to be social media addicted, that everything you want to post everything on social media. And the other thing is, most of these people, they're probably not leading that life. They're just doing that for traffic and all of that, right? But they need to know that what you're doing and you're calling cruise, people are taking notes. So if you're going on social media and you're talking rubbish, people are taking notes. And then they'll come for you when the time comes. And by that time, you won't be able to say, oh, I was cruising. No, that is not who I am, right? So,
whose birthday is that? Okay.
it's my son that does. That is just I want me not be working me or mentoring she birthday.
I said to Anna, okay.
No, they are here now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, and the other thing is, if that is the life you've chosen for yourself, right? Life of perforce, indecency and all of that, by all means continue. But don't come and be crying foul when that life catch up with you, and then you now want to make a U-turn. No, you don't. Like I said earlier, there are some boundaries that you don't cross. That once you cross it, you can't come back from. Because people will judge you. And it is okay for people to judge you. Because it was okay for you to live a life that puts a bullseye behind your back. That's what it is. So if we are going to be talking about going back to a world where morals is being celebrated, it starts with, unfortunately, what this lady faced. Because whether we want to agree to it or not, some people like her are taking notes. That may want to come in the future to say, oh, I'm married now. They are taking note that what this lady did affected her. So they are fixing up now. So I think it's a good thing that will bring back morality and all, because now at least that we know that there's consequence for nonsense. Unfortunately, someone had to pay for it. It's unfortunate. It's not what I pray for her, but that happened. So hopefully you'll be able to fix her life and then find some other man that would.
Cool. But that's what
Yeah.
I really. And you're fine. Atishago. I know you are conversant on TikTok. And what's your message for people? You know, if you want to get a lot of followers, just wear something like this on TikTok and be doing like this. You get followers. And probably say nasty things, people will follow you. Expose yourself, you get followers. So what's your message for them?
Yeah, no, I think Bronson has pretty much said it's that as you lay your bed, right? You have to be the one to lie on it. So there's pretty much I won't tell you not to do it. I need to encourage you not to do it. If you want to do it, get as much followers as possible, make as much money as you want to. But if you intend to then in the future try to keep a family or you want to marry and then you expect that, unfortunately, even information on social media is always timeless. You ask yourself how people tend to go and look for those information and bring them back at the appropriate time, it will come back. So, and I think just like Brotunde said, it's important, as much as we want to say forget, let it go and all that, I think it's important for accountability to be, for us to take accountability so that we can be able to encourage people and let people know that there is always also profit in keeping good morals. You understand? Of course, there's so much pressure on content creators, even on young people to always do different things just to make ends meet, to get views and all that. So if truly there's going to be repercussions for that in the future, then so be it. And as for me, like what I would say is, even the Bible says that God will not tempt you beyond your capacity. And anybody that is saying that I should be man enough to be able to forgive some people's sins, what they are saying, what they are trying to do is they are trying to tempt me beyond what I can bear. And even God will not even do that. How much more me now accepting a man?
Bro, anyways, but it is good. What are we, brothers for? Oh, that was your past. You were naive. You didn't know it. You should just say, especially when you come with a pitiful story. And my mother left me. My father left me. There was nothing I could eat. Or the only thing I could do to make money, a faster money, was just that. Those pitiful stories.
Look, everybody should just be held responsible for their actions. Everybody should be ready to take responsibility for whatever they put out there.
Born again, gone show.
Okay.
So
okay.
Wo from that. I wish I could be on Twitter and let's put all of you in that space. Madam Tayo Jare, Tayo sometimes women can do unthinkable for money. And now she's a changed person. Or what's your advice for people who want to do unthinkable things for money now? Because they just need this money. Economy, economy. Tayo, help us, Jare.
So I'm even the wrong person to ask. Because the thing is that the kind of year that's Jamie in the university was enough for me to do some certain things, but I stood my ground. All right, I stood my ground. One of the things that is constantly at the back of my mind is, what if I do it and I don't go scot-free like others? I believe that if somebody else do it, they might not face any consequence. But if me, I will do it, consequence will catch me there. That's the kind of thing that used to run in my head. All right. So to a large extent, it helps me to shape some things because my own view from time was never now. My view is I've always known that a lot of people will look up to me. So one of the things that keeps knocking me in the head, even while I was in the university, is if they now got to know that I did some certain things, okay, that will I still be able to lead them? Does that mean that I don't make mistakes? I made a lot of mistakes that I'm not proud of. But I try as much as possible to do the best I can. Because even those mistakes, I know how much they haunt me. You know, like, what if someone who is looking up to me now falls victim of what I did? So it's not even my own mistake that is paining me the most. It's the fact that I might be leading somebody else into temptation, which is not what I actually want for anyone. All right. So if you don't have a father, you don't have a mother, you will not be the first in that shoe. Find something doing. Find something else that will bring credibility to you doing. Will it be easy? It will not. It will not. The same way this thing you are doing, this thing you want to do, this solo show thing you want to do, is not easy because you will be afraid you are not going to be kidnapped and killed for rituals. You'll be afraid somebody do not pass infection on you. You'll be afraid the wife of the person did not catch you and behead you. You'll be afraid for a lot of things. You are constantly living in risk. Why not just take that risk to something positive? All right. So I am not trying to blame someone who find themselves there. They might not know better. Okay. They might not. Situations make people do some certain things. And when you realize this, the best is to come out of it. All right. So while you are coming out of it, you need to accept responsibility for your actions, accept consequence for your actions, and take responsibility for the things that you have done. But moving forward, be better. You can't tell. Somebody who sincerely, who genuinely wants you, will take you. And if the person cannot bear for him and you to be ridiculed, the person can change your environment. All right. So there are lots of things around all of these things. Okay. So, but the thing is that it will also be nice that when that somebody comes, you don't feel you don't betray someone who loves you genuinely enough to take you by going back to your vomit. Because sometimes you might likely want to go back to your vomit, but you should understand that this person actually loves you enough to accept you for who you are. If you have found yourself in unthinkable past, it doesn't mean your future cannot be bright. All right. You have your future ahead of you and it is going to be bright. But the first step towards the right direction is leaving the past in the past. Leave it completely in the past. Move out of it. And sometimes when a man see how serious you are about this, your future, people are not stupid. The person might be willing to take a risk with you. Like, okay, let me go for you. And it is also fair that you completely leave the past in the past. All right, this is not about condemning anyone. I'm not the right person to condemn anybody. But then once you have made the mistake and you want to get out of it, it is important you completely get out of that mistake. It is very, very, very important. All right. That is my own take.
Thank you. Thank you that you're not like these people that they did not want. Brotunde and Adashego. Now you want this man to miss all the sweetness that he saw in her before they went to marriage. This lady must have been so sweet. Probably she has money, or she has a good character now, or she had backside, front side. All of this now, all the goodness, you have used one thing to spoil it for this man. Kodabai.
Let her carry the sweetness to another man now. Is that simple? Paja?
Ah. I love you.
The sweetness is appreciated. But maybe the person is not trying to be diabetic. So, for sweetness in it.
I think the mistake she made was to have not let go of that account. I think That is the mistake she made. If she had let go of the account, maybe people would have known she's the good person.
They may know. How will people remember
So,
somebody's post in 2020 till now, 5
so,
years later? Why would I remember your post
Olotu,
2020 again?
so
Ago?
Olotu, I agree with Sister Taye about her making the mistake of not letting go the account. However, it is still out of the seat because it is still covering up our past. The man still see. There's a Yoruba saying that Efiniwa Bedemagulu Yorutu could delete gbogbo account láti ayédọ̀run. She will still live her life looking behind her back because what tó bá ti jẹ definitely máa kú gbìn kò ń ṣèpè. So if the man did not find out the way he did, years down the line, something will still rear at him. It's an ugly past. If you don't confront it, it will still definitely come up. So, I mean, deleting the...
Broco, Dabi. Say Broco, now Ọ̀gbẹ́ni má gbé o. Show Dabi.
No, and that's the funny thing. It is saying Ọ̀gbẹ́ni má gbé is still subject to the person's decision. The Ọ̀gbẹ́ni yẹn gangan. Tó bá nǹkan tẹ́ ní kò má gbé, níbi tẹ́ bá ní kí gbégbé má gbé.
Gbé ló fẹ́ gbé.
Bá ní tó ń fẹ́ gbé nìyẹn, kò sẹ́ni tó máa bàjá.
Àjàṣẹ́gun máa pè ń dọ̀dọ̀ yò.
I've said it earlier. See, if a man gets to the point of saying that even if they call me Dodoyo, I'm still ready to go with it, that's fine. There are men like that.
No, that's true.
That is fine. But to now leave, see, and I'm sorry for bringing it back. The problem the lady has
It's hiding it.
Exactly. Hiding it and living a fake life, because that's the fake life. Because, like, let me say it again, there's no way you will hide something like that you will not act the opposite of who you are. Maybe the person in their dating or in their being together, the lady might have been captivating prostitute in the presence of the man. You understand what I'm saying? Because she will try to dissociate herself because she wouldn't want the guy to sniff that part of her. So I'm gonna hook up girls. To now find out that you want to think she be dainty as she was gangani or gawon aya anga. That is the problem. So if she had opened up to the guy, two things will be involved. It is either the guy will say, Alele, come and be going, I cannot deal with his fine. Or the guy will say, Emi ati orun shulaparo deal. Even the sweetness there's I'm okay with it. And that is also fine. But to now be doing nonsense and expecting that all of that will go away, and then when the man that you did not tell find out, you now want to dictate how the guy should react. If you tell me, everybody might be better Johnny.
No problem. Bye. I think this is how we'll be rounding up today. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. So my own rounding up message is like, whatever you post, and probably in the future, your children will not be happy seeing it. Your husband will not be happy seeing it. Your boss will not be happy seeing it now, because now when they want to do interview now, they ask for your social media handles. They want to see what you've been posting over the time. So whatever you post, that after 10 years, you will not be proud you posted it. Please go and delete it, or don't even post it, because now it's beginning to haunt us. Social media is now becoming a small word now, because I don't know how people remember what somebody posted 5 years ago. What's your business? Tell monitor life on life. 2020 no post it. Or to post me in 2021. Maybe that time don't change, don't the born again. But anyways, we'll move. Thank you so much for everyone. I appreciate you. God bless you. Bye.
Double.